Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kenny Dix here. Ready to tell you what's coming up right here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Coming up, the main event, Seth Rollins takes on CM Punk. They go war to war tonight. In this confrontation, we're going to finally see it tonight coming up. Speaking of that, the Women's World title's on the line. Liv Morgan set to defend her title against Rhea Bloody Ripley. The Rhea Ripley regained the Women's Championship from her arch nemesis, Liv Morgan. We'll talk about it. Speaking of somebody that's having talk, a water cooler talk, John Cena marks the first stop of his farewell tour on Raw on Netflix premiere coming up. Also, too, Logan Paul set to do a return on Netflix as well. What Logan Paul got to say and who he's targeting, we'll find out. Also, too, in singles action, Jey Uso looks to take down Drew McIntyre. With the Sky Psychopath have the upper hand on Jay, the Uso man. We'll talk about it coming up. But we start off the Pro Wrestling Show with Roman Reigns to engage in tribal combat against Solo Sikoa for the Red Ula Fala. Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kid Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling for our Raw Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Okay, join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is caring. Tell a friend, call a friend. Hit that subscribe button so it won't be a stranger. And hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified. All right, we got a lot to get into. What a long night it was here on the Raw Ring Report. Right here, this is the new logo right here from the stars of Monday Night Raw. And there was a couple of stars from SmackDown. We'll get to it coming up. But we ain't going to hesitate to kick things off with this. The Game, Triple H made his appearance tonight. Triple H, we thought it was going to either be Triple H or The Rock. Triple H started opening the show, welcoming people to Monday Night Raw. And he did it so eloquently that they had to cover it up right here. You see right here, the whole entire stage was covered up. The whole ring was covered up with the USA, the WWE, Netflix. And really was spellbinding tonight. Triple H kicking off the show, welcoming the crowd, and did so tonight by showing the events in WWE and left them a lasting impression. Well, we kick off with this. The final boss, The Rock, kicked off the show. The Rock, the People's Champion, kicked off the show. And Rocky was in town. Rocky was in tow. And he was a man on a mission. We don't know what The Rock was doing, but The Rock had a lot to say. He's coming off the heels of the Golden Globe. The Rock, I guess, got that 5 o'clock shadow. I don't know if he's probably doing it for a role or not, but The Rock came out there to say that he's here. He's just anticipating. He even called out Cody Rhodes, but he did it in a nice subtle way. We don't know if The Rock was meant that for what he was saying tonight. How Rocky was. But Rocky was kind of being a little bit humble tonight. I don't know. There's normally not The Rock, but we don't know the road to WrestleMania. What's next for The Rock? But The Rock welcome everyone to Raw. He made amends with Cody Rhodes. I was shocked at that. With Cody Rhodes was like taken aback a little bit. Didn't know what to expect with The Rock. And The Rock made it seem like, hey, I'm here for all peace. I'm not here to stir up no trouble. I'm here. And Cody Rhodes really taken aback with The Rock. Didn't know what The Rock was going to do. But The Rock was that. The Rock made his amends, and The Rock came out there saying he was going to watch the main event match, the first match of the night. And the first match of the night was this: Roman Reigns taking on Solo Sikoa for the tribal chief combat and tribal combat for the Ula Fala. Can Roman regain his Ula Fala? It was going to be a hard one tonight for Roman. Roman Reigns wants his Ula Fala back. You know, You see Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa both in the ring, looking at each other intensely, knowing that how Michael Cole made it sense like, hey, Roman had his bloodline chaotic. Solo has his aligned like ain't nobody really gonna turn on each other. Everybody's equal, putting Solo's the leader. But throughout the final stage of the match, Jacob Fatu, the Savage, or I meant the Savage Beast, came out there to try to help his boss, try to help Solo get the win. But Jacob and Talioni tried to do their best to even the odds for that boss, Jacob. But it wasn't to be, as Jacob got pinned with the spear by Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns won and regained his Ula Fala back. The Paul Heyman game, The Rock came out there. We thought The Rock was going to confront Roman Reigns, but that just wasn't the case. The Rock congratulated Roman and gave him back his Ula Fala and presented his Ula Fala to him, which was crazy enough. I didn't even expect that, but Roman Reigns gets his Ula Fala back. Don't know what that's gonna lead to on SmackDown. I guess it was just a special match. It was Roman's first match back, the championship at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, first singles match back. Roman Reigns could be on his way back, so we just have to wait and see. But Roman Reigns regaining his Ula Fala, his tribal chief nectar that was given to him by the late great Wild Samoans who passed away last summer. Well, speaking of that, John Cena doing his farewell tour. John Cena coming out there doing the farewell tour, and John Cena came out there. We know that John Cena, a living legend, first ballot Hall of Famer, came out there. John Cena came out there to kick off his retirement tour. He won't say retirement, but I'm gonna say retirement farewell, same thing. John Cena has a whole year. He's gonna wrestle during the whole year to show the fans this is gonna be the last time you see him and stuff. Well, Cena came out there and and Cena did what he did, saying he don't know how he want to shut down that rumors about him about competing in the Royal Rumble, about him getting a 17-time world championship. He was talking about every special event, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. But Cena declared himself in the Royal Rumble match. So John Cena will be in the Royal Rumble. He declared himself tonight. So John Cena will be part of that historic Royal Rumble. John Cena getting himself ready. You can tell right here. He's prepping himself, signing autographs and stuff. So this will be the last time this year. John Cena's going to be heading towards Hollywood full time. John Cena talked about a lot of people. They were speculating who he's going to feud with, but he don't know who he's going to feud with. It's just going to be a saying. He was saying the likes of CM Punk, Logan Paul. We'll get Logan Paul in a minute. Cena feuding with Randy Orton, a bunch of others. Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion. So there's a bunch of people that John Cena can feud with, but we will see on who the Doctor of Thugonomics will feud with. But he said he's declaring himself in the Royal Rumble. He's going to win it, and he'll probably get himself a future opportunity for the world title to break his record and Ric Flair's record to mark him at 17 world titles. So it could be a record for John Cena if he breaks it. But speaking of that, the New Day feel like they're feeling unappreciated. Kofi and Xavier feel like they're not being listened to by the WWE Universe, and WWE Universe is taking them for granted. And Kofi and Xavier decided to take their matters to their own hands and did so tonight. Kofi and Xavier doing what they do best, just run amok. And Xavier and Kofi demand respect, but they're not getting it, and they feel like they being mistreated. That could be what they believe and what they saying, but who knows with the New Day? The New Day, we really gonna have to wait and see what the New Day is gonna do. I think they're gonna be feuding with American Alpha and see how that's gonna go for them down the road. Speaking of that, Chad Gable came and he talked about he wanted some competition. But General Manager Adam Pearce said, obliged, said he's going to get some real competition. And next week, he's going to get that competition. And a lot of people are speculating, and they're speculating that Penta will become the WWE, and he's going to give him the competition that he's truly deserved next week on Raw. So it probably will be Penta versus Chad Gable next week on Raw. And if I was Chad Gable, I would be looking at tapes of Penta and studying Penta because he don't know what he's getting himself into next week against this man. This man like to break folks' arms and stuff and snap folks' arms off. And I think Chad Gable better really do his research if I was him. So hey, we'll see for Chad Gable and how that's going to go down. Well, Logan Paul being arrogant and cocky that he is, saying that he's gonna dedicate himself to be a full-time WWE superstar, saying the other stuff like boxing and all the other YouTube stuff doesn't mean that he's gonna be really locked in or being a WWE superstar. And Logan Paul saying that he's gonna be doing what he can do to become a champion. So Logan might be targeting whoever next to be world champion. You know how Logan Paul is, he's arrogant and cocky. He's arrogant and cocky for a bland reason. So hey, let's see. Well, a lot of the celebrities came out, even Macaulay Culkin. I remember when Macaulay Culkin came to WWE when he was a young bitty boy. He was at WrestleMania 7. And Bobby the Brain Heenan said he don't want to be home alone with him. And we kind of knew Bobby Heenan was promoting him and saying all that stuff, what he was saying. So Bobby Heenan was out there. Even Nikki Bella, former Divas champion, was out there. Bill Simmons right next beside her. All enjoying Raw. Nikki Bella coming off the heels of Wars. Nikki Bella doing what she needed to do. So we see that a lot of celebrities was in tow. Danielle Fisher from Boy Meets World. They was out there. I think that dude was from Boy Meets World too. Ice Cube's son O'Shea was out there as well, his eldest son. So a lot of the celebrities was out and about in Los Angeles to watch Raw, like including The Rock. And we told you that Pat McAfee was also back too. Pat McAfee came back to the announcers table with Michael Cole. So Pat McAfee, Michael Cole back together, band back together on Raw. Well, you see, they're going. I guess they got new lead on table as well. So everything's new on Raw on Netflix. And it was the first Raw tonight on Netflix. So how fitting was that tonight? Well, we get to this. The Women's World Championship, the Women's World title was online as Liv Morgan defended her championship against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Bloody Ripley. Rhea Bloody Ripley took it to everybody tonight. Rhea Ripley. Speaking of Rhea Ripley wanted to do what she needed to do, and she did. She won the Women's World Championship right back from Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan really didn't have a chance tonight. Rhea Ripley regains the women's championship back, and Rhea Ripley on the road to WrestleMania done so by winning back the women's championship tonight. And Rhea Ripley got a measure of revenge tonight, and Rhea Ripley showcased her abilities tonight by getting her hands on her ex-fling Dominic and showing Dominic a thing or two. You don't you don't try to screw me over. Rhea Ripley. Dominic was trying to come back to Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley didn't have it, didn't want any part of Dominic, and decided to kick him in the crotch and give him the riptide. And Rhea Ripley finally kicked Dominic to the curb. Rhea Ripley on her road to WrestleMania, but she got joined by the Undertaker. The Undertaker making a pit stop here, and the American Badass gear. Undertaker did so tonight by celebrating with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley getting the nod from the dead man, the Undertaker, with this right here, winning the Women's World Championship back, and Undertaker giving Rhea Ripley her props and showcasing her abilities tonight. Rhea Ripley finally win the Women's World Championship tonight over Liv Morgan in the hellacious Women's Last Man Standing match. I love Women's Last Man Standing match it was. Speaking of Liv won't have to worry about. She'll be a video game in the upcoming edition of the WWE 2025 2K25 video game. So we're gonna see that with Rhea Ripley winning back the women's championship, and Rhea Ripley doing what she needs to do tonight, kicking Dominic to the curb once again after he was trying to take her back. Also, too, we get to this main event. Jey Uso was in action. Jey Uso was in action against Drew McIntyre. Main event Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre was in action tonight. Drew looking to get revenge on anybody that teamed up with Roman Reigns, and the Roman Reigns denied him being champion. Main event Jey Uso found the way to play possum, and he did play possum tonight. I kind of hit on the head. What he did, played possum. He did so tonight. Main event Jey Uso defeated Drew McIntyre. He came out with rapper Travis Scott. And I think I guess they got new liberties now after what they did. Travis Scott coming out there with a joint and with a seltzer and started drinking. You know what? Travis Scott doing what he wanted to do. He was in LA for the night, and he joined forces with see Michael Cole and Pat McAfee getting in the fun of things tonight with Travis Scott, and Travis Scott living it up tonight and helping Drew, maybe Jey Uso, getting the win over Drew McIntyre tonight. Well, we're main event. This has been building for months. We've been almost till Survivor Series last 2023 when CM Punk returned. Seth Rollins had a issue with that, a problem with that. Remember, it came to a head. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, and what a match that was. It was a match that many people would have speculated of all. CM Punk and Seth Rollins really took each other to the limit, and they took each other to the limit, all right. It was just that, over the limit. But Drew McIntyre, CM Punk defeated Seth Rollins with 2 GTSs. Seth Rollins didn't see it coming. Seth Rollins was too busy trying to overcome his emotions rather than focusing on the task at hand. Seth Rollins, like I said, he had to let his emotions get the best of him. Really should have just stayed around. But CM Punk got the win over Seth and did so tonight by beating Seth and doing so tonight for Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins really going to have to focus and pay attention to what he needs to do in the matter of the task at hand for him. How that's going to go for him, and how it's ever going to go down for him. So we'll see. But he's going to really going to have to really play it safe. But CM Punk emerged victorious tonight. CM Punk doing what he needed to do. CM Punk getting the job done. Even CM Punk right here, he's going to be part of that video game coming up. Punk, part of the video game for the 2K25 edition. It's, with them. CM Punk emerged victorious over Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins gonna really not gonna let this down one bit. He's gonna find a way to get back at CM Punk for what he did. All right, that ends the Pro Wrestling Show Raw Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we told you earlier that CM Punk will be part of the new game, the 2025 game. Look at CM Punk. That's a real life CM Punk as a real life model mode. And also, too, Damian Priest comes out there. You see Damian Priest, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with the WWE Championship around his waist. So Cody Rhodes coming out there as well. Liv Morgan. So a lot of folks, even Bayley, they got some surfing leg on Bayley. A lot of people are seeing it as we hit far. Don't forget, next week on Raw, the finals of the Women's Intercontinental Championship tournament. They just didn't want to put it all in one batch. They wanted to spread it out. So next week, Live Valkyria will take on Dakota Kai for an opportunity of a lifetime who will be the first woman to become the women's intercontinental champion. We're gonna see that coming fruition next week here on Raw, on live on Netflix as well. Next week as well, we saw this the street fight. Damian Priest will take on Finn Balor. These two were former tag team partners, former stablemates, and now they're bitter enemies, and they're gonna sell their score in the ring next week in a street fight next Monday on Raw. Well, speaking of that, the immortal Hulk Hogan made a rare special appearance on the on Raw live on Netflix. Guess to compensate him not being on Saturday night's main event with Jesse Ventura. They got an ongoing feud, and they still been having the feud since the 80s. It's almost been 40 years, 40 plus years. But Hulk Hogan came out there tonight to talk about Raw, the WWE, and Hulk Hogan was one of the foundations. I consider Hulk Hogan one of the founding fathers of WWE. Um, helped building the WWE to what it is today. But since his recent shenanigans lately in the election this past year, Hulk Hogan really got mixed reaction from some of the crowd. He got cheers and boos. So Hulk Hogan really had to work on cleaning his image up a little bit more. But hey, he is what it is. Um, Also too, CM Punk was on a podcast talking about who he wants to challenge between the world champions. He said he don't care. He just want a title, and CM Punk wants to make money. That's what CM Punk said. That's what he wants to do, make money. So hey, that's CM Punk for you. Speaking of that, John Cena has his Paco attire that he wore tonight. John Cena already got the attire already in place. His Paco thing. So Cena getting himself together and getting himself ready. Even got a Paco edition of himself. So yeah, this is farewell stuff already. We know Penta will be coming this Monday, next Monday on Raw. So we're looking forward to seeing the anticipation in the debut of Penta. Penta will come and try to lit up the place when he takes on Chad Gable. And I think Chad Gable should be watching some AEW tapes real soon. He needs to study this man because this man right here likes to break people's arms. And I'm telling Chad Gable ahead of time, give him some advice. You need to watch yourself because Penta is here to break folks' arms and have wrestle and break people's arms. So you better be careful, man, because Penta is there just to do that. So look for Penta and Chad Gable next week on Raw. Even to the point that Roman Reigns even said a bigger platform. Paul Heyman shared now is going to be probably 2K25. Might see Roman Reigns um become the face, and they saying a bigger platform. What Paul Heyman was talking about. Shocking surprise, Heyman didn't turn on Roman, but it's kind of gonna make it still. He's gonna eventually gonna have to turn on Roman sooner rather than later. That went down. But my whole thoughts on tonight's Raw was this. It was great. The first live Raw on Netflix. It debuted. It showed a strong showing. Good for WWE for that. And all the other commentators, they're gonna say what they want to say. They used to work there and they used to not work there, former lead writers and stuff. But they did pretty good. They did pretty good with the CM Punk and Seth Rollins. They told the story and how the story came to right now. This might be only the beginning. Who knows? You know, we might see how that's gonna go. Even told a story about John Cena contemplating: do he want to win his 17th world title, or do he want? Is he content as what he is? John Cena is gonna always want to do something big and bold. So we saw that tonight. Speaking of big and bold, The Rock was that big and bold. Don't know what's the Rock's agenda is and what's Rock's going to be bringing, but you got to wonder what's next for the People's Champion, or what's next for him, and how that's going to affect. And we saw tonight Rhea Bloody Ripley winning her Women's World Championship back from Liv Morgan, the last woman standing match, by doing what she needed to do. As well as main event Jay Uso, I see him being a future world champion down the road sometime this year, probably in the summer. You get the world championship off of you know who. Edge, probably. Well, not Gunther. I meant Gunther, but it could be the possibility. All right. We're going to leave you here on the Pro Wrestling Show with CM Punk with his hell hand high. And CM Punk getting the victory over Seth Rollins tonight, leaving Seth Rollins down and out. What would Seth Rollins say? I'll respond to what CM Punk defeating him and what's next. Thanks for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Presents the Raw Ring Report. I've been your host, Kendrick Dixon. So long. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow. And we meant to also, before we get off, we know that The Rock said that he will be on NXT. So we're looking forward to seeing The Rock on NXT tomorrow night. So the great one will be on NXT. Will he be with his daughter? Who knows? But we have to wait and see. So for me being Kendrick Dix, saying so long, it's been a late night edition of the Pro Wrestling Show, Raw Ring Report. Thank you for watching and thanking you for joining this show. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report with this man, the great one, The Rock, making a rare appearance on NXT. We'll see